Adriana's bold fashion choice. A vibrant avant-garde dress that contrasted sharply with the subdued elegance of the attendees, only intensified the scrutiny. Michael, ever the supportive partner, walked beside her with a protective air, his hand resting lightly on the small of her back. Nearby, a group of impeccably dressed women exchanged amused glances, their voices carrying just enough volume to reach Sophia's ears. "Can you believe she is here?" remarked a woman with an exaggerated gasp, her voice laced with thinly veiled amusement. "And in that outfit! It's like she's auditioning for a role in a street play." A companion stifled a giggle behind a delicate hand. "Perhaps it's her new avant-garde phase," she quipped, her tone filled with mock admiration. It was obvious she despised Adriana. Sophia wondered what Adriana had done to these two women that made them hate her this way. Who knew thrift shops could be so avant-garde? Sophia's lips twitched in amusement, her gaze flickering briefly towards Adriana and Michael. Despite the mockery, Sophia couldn't help but admire Adriana's audacity to defy convention. With deliberate poise, Sophia gilded forward, her designer heels clicking rhythmically against the polished tiled floor. She approached Adriana and Michael with a regal air, her demeanor a blend of composed elegance and restrained animosity. "Adriana, Michael," she greeted, her voice carrying the weight of unspoken history and rivalry. "What a delightful surprise to see you here." Adriana met Sophia's gaze with a mixture of defiance and thinly veiled exasperation, her chin lifted defiantly against the current of judgment that threatened to engulf her. "Sophia," she acknowledged tersely, her voice edged with restrained irritation. "I hadn't expected to encounter you in such refined company." Michael, sensing the undercurrents of tension between the two women, interjected smoothly, his voice a buffer against the underlying hostility. "We're here strictly for business, that's all." "Please, we didn't come here for a fight," he emphasized, casting a protective glance towards Adriana. "I trust our presence won't detract from the evening's proceedings." Sophia's smile was a mere curve of lips, her eyes gleaming with a mix of challenge and intrigue. "Oh, not at all," she replied, her words laced with subtle skepticism. "It's always enlightening to witness different interpretations of refinement." Adriana's jaw clenched briefly, a flicker of frustration crossing her features before she composed herself. "We won't linger," she stated firmly, her gaze unwavering on Sophia. Before Sophia could respond, the hall's attention pivoted as Mr. Romano, the vice president, ascended the stage to commence the evening's proceedings. The shift in focus momentarily diffused the charged atmospheres, but the unspoken rivalry between Sophia and Adriana simmered beneath the surface. The auctioneer's voice, resonant and commanding, pierced through the ambient murmur of the elegantly adorned hall. "Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?" he began, his tone carrying an air of authority that instantly drew every eye towards the stage. The anticipation in the room was palpable as he continued. "We commenced this evening's auction with an exquisite collection of jewelry, each piece a masterpiece of elegance and rarity." Sophia, poised at the forefront among the distinguished attendees, felt the pulse of excitement quicken around her. Her eyes flickered with a blend of admiration and calculation as the auctioneer described the first item. A dazzling sapphire necklace adorned with diamonds, gleaming under the spotlight. The allure of the jewels, coupled with the thrill of competitive bidding, set the stage for an evening where fortunes could change with each measured bid. Beside her, Romano, the esteemed vice president of Key Venture Enterprise, exchanged knowing nods with other influential figures scattered throughout the room. Their presence lent an air of both anticipation and determination, each prepared to engage in the intricate dance of strategy and acquisition that defined the world of high-end auctions. As the auctioneer's voice continued to detail the craft skills and provenance of the sapphire necklace, the room held its breath in collective admiration. Bidders, their expressions a mix of desire and calculation, prepared to enter the fray for a chance to possess such a rare and coveted piece. Sophia's gaze swept across the room, noting the subtle shifts in body language and the flicker of ambition in her competitor's eyes. Amidst the charged atmosphere, snippets of conversation floated around her. "I heard this necklace was once owned by a European royal family," whispered a bespectacled gentleman to his companion, his voice tinged with awe. Nearby, a woman with an air of sophistication remarked to her friend, "Do you think the rumors about his flawless cut are true?" "It's positively mesmerizing." Romano leaned towards Sophia, his voice a low murmur tinged with excitement. "This necklace is rumored to be the centerpiece of tonight's auction. It could fetch quite a sum." Sophia nodded, her lips curving into a knowing smile. "Indeed, Romano, it will be fascinating to see who prevails in this bidding war." The auctioneer's voice rang out with authority as bids escalated for the stunning sapphire necklace, each offer punctuating the air with anticipation. Sophia observed closely, her eyes narrowing imperceptibly as the bids climbed higher and higher. Romano, beside her, exchanged knowing glances with other prominent figures in the room, their expressions a mix of determination and calculation. The bids soared, each new number delivered with confident deliberation. Finally, a decisive bid came from a distinguished gentleman towards the back of the room. His voice, smooth and commanding, cut through the tension like a knife. "2 million," he announced firmly. The room stilled momentarily, all eyes turning towards the auctioneer who stood poised at the podium. He nodded, acknowledging the bid with professional composure. $2 million, he declared, his voice carrying across the hall. "Going once," the auctioneer intoned, his gaze sweeping the room expectantly. The seconds stretched, each heartbeat echoing the weight of the moment. "Going twice," he continued, the rhythm of his words heightening the suspense. Sophia's pulse quickened, anticipation thick in the air. And then, with a final flourish, the auctioneer proclaimed, "Sold!" The hammer fell decisively, sealing the face of the sapphire necklace with a resounding echo that reverberated through the room. A ripple of applause and murmurs of admiration followed, mingling with congratulatory nods and polite smiles. The successful bidder, a distinguished collector known for his discerning taste, accepted the applause with a gracious nod, his expression a mix of satisfaction and pride. Adriana, on the other hand, had her eyes locked on the next diamond necklace, a piece that sparkled so intensely under the chandelier lights it seemed to capture the essence of every color in the room. The sight of it ignited a fierce desire within her. She turned to Michael, her expression a mask of determination. "Michael, I want those diamonds," she stated firmly, pointing at the exquisite piece. Michael's eyes widened in disbelief. "Are you serious, Adriana? That necklace costs a fortune. I'd go broke if I bought it." Adriana's gaze hardened, her voice unwavering. "I don't care, Michael. I want it. You can get the money back." Michael's face flushed with frustration. Adriana, do you even hear yourself? This isn't just some trinket. It's an investment, and not one we can afford right now. Adriana's eyes flashed with a mix of frustration and unyielding determination. I understand that, Michael, but sometimes you have to take risks to get what you want. You know I don't ask for much. This is important to me. Important? Important, Adriana? How can you justify throwing away our savings on a whim? This is insanity, Michael exclaimed, his voice edged with frustration and disbelief. Adriana's jaw clenched, her eyes narrowing with resolve. It's not just a whim, Michael. This necklace represents something to me, something I need to claim for myself. You promised you'd support me. Michael ran a hand through his hair, struggling to maintain his composure. Support you? I'm trying to keep us afloat here, Adriana. You're being reckless and selfish. Adriana's eyes flashed with hurt and defiance. Selfish? Maybe, for once, I want something for myself. Something that isn't about practicality or sacrifice. I've always stood by you, Michael. Now I need you to stand by me. Michael's frustration boiled over, his voice laced with anger. Adriana, be reasonable. This isn't just about you. We have to think about our future. Adriana stepped closer, her voice a low, intense murmur. This is about our future, Michael. It's about showing the world that we're not afraid to reach for what we want. I need this. We need this. Technically, Michael knew Adriana wanted it for selfish reasons. Why? Because she wanted to brag about it with her friends. But what could he do? He just had to say yes. The auctioneer's voice interrupted their heated exchange, drawing their attention back to the stage. The next item is a stunning diamond necklace, renowned for its unparalleled brilliance and craft skills. Bidding will start at $1 million. Adriana's heart raced as the bidding began, each raise of the paddle intensifying her determination. Michael looked at her, his face a storm of conflicting emotions, anger, concern, and an unwilling acknowledgement of her resolve. As the bids escalated, Adriana leaned in, her voice urgent and insistent. Michael, please, you have to do this for me. You have to trust me.